Hey fellow Gen Xers, it is not always true that getting back pain is a function of being old. So I did a video a while back that I torqued my back by doing nothing more than turning in a chair.
Yes, I tweet.
Well, I'm glad to report that it wasn't because I'm old, and I am in my mid-50s. I am a late 60s Gen Xer, and yes, 55 years experience of being a Gen X. Turns out that I was wrong. It wasn't a function of my age, it was a function of my stupidity.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
But rather my lifelong hatred of stretching. I hate stretching more than I hate cardio. And I would rather do complexes with a barbell, like a bear complex, instead of just going and doing some sprints. So it turns out that the pain in my back and my hips started to be chronic. So every few weeks I get the same thing. So I was getting a little concerned. Well, you think, all right, well, yeah, you know, your mid-50s, chronic back pain, that's what you got.
Too old!
You know, I trained all my life doing heavy squats and deadlifts and Olympic lifting pretty much every day, at least 4 times a week, so that I would not get older and suffer from the same things that my friends' dads always did, that they'd work all week and then come the weekend they'd be laid up in their backs. So I try to, you know, I can still, it's a moderate lift, I get it, but I can still deadlift over 400 pounds. So I didn't expect to just turn in the chair and torque my back. So a few weeks ago, it took a real dramatic turn for the worse. It wasn't just in my back and my hip. It started to radiate across the front of the quadriceps, the front of my thigh. And then my knee was really, really sore and just throbbing. And it didn't matter. I mean, I could take 4 ibuprofen, 4 aspirin, nothing. I even took half a Percocet one, and I don't use I don't use, you know, such drugs. And usually, you know, hey, Gen X, just walk it off. So it wasn't working this time. So then I started getting real concerned about it going across my thigh. And I'm thinking, I open up Reddit, and one of the first things that I see is that someone was misdiagnosed and died of an embolism. So I'm thinking, great, I may have an embolism there, or I have a blood clot, a femoral, what is it, the femoral artery. I'm probably mispronouncing that. So a little concerned, but then it starts to dawn on me. Maybe it's because I have spent the last 4 years not stretching. So if you sit a lot and you are also training very heavy, so if you're doing deadlifts and squats and Olympic lifting, you're doing that a few times a week, probably a good idea that you actually stretch when you're done. Because what can happen is, and I think this is what happened to me, there's a muscle called the piriformis. So I think I may have a really moderate case of piriformis syndrome. So the piriformis, what it can do is that when it's too tight, can put pressure against the sciatic nerve. So when I started stretching a few days ago, there was relief. I mean, almost immediately. Now, I can't reverse, and I don't think, you know, this is just for me, this is not medical advice. I don't think we can reverse 4 years of not stretching in just a few days worth of, you know, maybe 15-20 minute sessions of stretching. So I've been stretching twice a day for the last few days, and I'm happy to report that I'm pretty certain that since it is getting better, and probably by Monday I will be back to 100%, so I can start squatting and deadlifting heavy and go back to square one again. But I'm happy to report that it has been improving every stretching session. So my chronic back pain and hip pain, not a function of being in my mid-50s, just a function of being a dumbass.
It's because you're a dumbass.
You have to stretch. So let's be serious now. If you don't see any more videos from me on this channel, then I was dead wrong and it was the embolism the whole time.